So hey, hello everyone, and I welcome you all to APJ Academy, where we are nurturing the young minds just like you to become doctor and engineers. And in today's class, I'll be taking a very important session, which is none other than basic maths. Because what I feel and what I saw from my students that generally the NEET students found very difficult solving the numericals of physics, and that is only due to the basic maths. Why? So in today's class, I'll be teaching you all the important concepts required for the basic maths. But before we start, I want that you should please rate the quality of the broadcast, whether everything is fine. If everything is fantastic, my audio, video, and you feel that yes, everything is fine to go, you can mark this as 10. Put your chat on and be enthusiastic. And in our class, I want that no one will remain silent, because only when you make mistakes, only when you interact with your teacher, you can learn online. Otherwise, you feel that, yeah, I'll do that next time. Next time never come. Remember that thing, right? So who said that? Me. So myself, Manoj Kumar, I am your physics educator on APJ Academy. I did my BTech and MBA from Delhi. I have 8+ years of teaching experience, teaching students for IIT, JEE, NEET, and other entrance exam. And I also associated with many renowned institutes which are online and offline. So you are getting the best faculty on this APJ Academy. And on this YouTube channel, I'll be teaching free of cost. So what else you want? So please subscribe this YouTube channel, because you won't get this opportunity next time. And I always say to my students that winners and losers have same goal. Everybody who is filling the form for NEET wants to crack that exam, isn't it? Is anyone out there who is filling the form and want to not crack the exam, he just want to fail the exam? Will he fill the form? No. So what makes the winner and what makes the loser? What is the main criteria here? The criteria which I am telling you is the process. The process is very important. If you are following the process, if you are not targeting that you have to crack the NEET exam, you must follow the process. You must trust the process. The trust is that you have to solve your important books. You have to solve my study material. You have to solve my notes or any other teachers, whichever you are following. Right? So that is the process, and for that process you require one hand holding for you, isn't it? And that hand holding is provided by us on this YouTube channel, totally free of cost. You can subscribe this YouTube channel. There is complete timetable on which we are taking the classes. So when you subscribe with the bell button, okay, hit the bell icon so that you won't miss our notification. And there is perfect timetable that my class will be at 7 p.m. So at 7 p.m. you will be getting me here standing in front of all of you, and you can learn from the comfort of your home, right? So these are the things which you are getting on this YouTube channel. And I always said that how you can be motivated, how to study in a motivated group. That can only happen if you are mentored by a person who himself gone through that phase and who himself connects with you better, right? So who is that person? I am the person who gone through this training. I will be saying the training most of the time, and in this training I found out that what didn't work for me. And in these 8 years when I am in the teaching line, I found out so many things what works really well for my students, and same will happen to you as well, right? So I am starting the lecture. Let's now it's fine. Okay, so basically if we talk about basic maths, then you are having a triangle. We are having basic maths triangle. The first one which you must know, that is the trigonometry. I think many of you have already studied that trigonometry in your class 10th, right? But there are some things which you require when you are preparing for the exam like NEET. Whenever you are finding the angles which are bigger than the 90 degree, you face very much tension that how to calculate the values. So I am here to make you comfortable that how to calculate the values which is greater than 90 degree, which is greater than 180, 120, 270 or any value of trigonometry. I'll be there for you. And the second thing, I name this as cat, right? I name this as cat. Second thing is algebra, basic algebra. Basic algebra. Algebra in terms of scalar quantities, algebra in terms of vector quantities. So you must be very much aware about these things. And the third thing is the calculus. So many a time I told my student that only this CAT you require to crack NEET exam, right? What is CAT? The CAT here stands for the calculus, algebra and trigonometry. Only these three things you must know. And if you know all these three things, then what else do you want? What else do you want? You just have to then revise the physics concept and apply those concepts when you are solving the numericals, right? So in today's class, we'll be dealing these only, right? So let's start with the very basic things about the trigonometry. I assume that you do not know anything. This is my assumption in all my classes. With the assumption that you must have studied something in your class 10. That's why you choose to become a doctor. So as you know that trigonometry stands for the measurement of triangles. The trigon, the tri here means 3. The gon means side. And metry means measurement. So basically we have to do the measurement of the polygon which is having the 3 sides. So we have trigonometry. If we saw any triangle, basically 90 degree, a triangle having a 90 degree angle, then you already know that if I'm drawing this triangle as this, then this will be perpendicular, this will be base and this will be hypotenuse. And this is my theta. I can name this as alpha, I can name this as beta. Okay, I'm naming this as alpha and I'm naming this as beta because I want that your brain should be running through a phase where you are finding some new terms so that you will be analyzing these things again as a new concept. Because when you are learning anything as a new concept, then your brain make a new connection between various neurons. So your memory becomes very high, right? Your concentration power becomes very high. So this is very much essential if you are preparing, right? So I am following a very scientific scenario. So here we know that there are 3 sides, right? In triangle, what triangle is having? The triangle is having only 6 things. 3 sides. If I'm talking about triangles, then they are having 3 sides and 3 angles, right? So triangles is having only these 2 things, sides and angles. 3 sides and 3 angles, right? Nothing other than that. Only 3 sides, 3 angles. Okay. So if I talk about 3 sides in this trigonometry, I'm basically talking about 3 sides. So how many sides are there? 3 sides. And if I'm taking the right triangle, the sides names are special names: perpendicular, hypotenuse and base. So these are the 3 sides. In how many ways? In how many ways I can calculate the ratios? Sir, we already know, sir. There are only 3 sides. So we can easily find out the ratio. The total number of ratios will be 6. How many? We are not talking about anything. You know that this is first, this is second, this is third. So the ratio can be P by H, ratio can be H by B, ratio can be P by B. And same reverse, means the reciprocal can also be there, right? So there can be six scenarios, there can be six scenarios, six ratios which can be in the trigonometry. So we already know these ratios are sine. If I am talking about sine alpha, then it will be perpendicular upon hypotenuse. If I am talking about cos alpha, then it will be base upon hypotenuse. If I am talking about tan, then it will be perpendicular upon base. So these are basic trigonometric ratios. That's why we say that these are nothing but a trigonometric ratios. Trigonometric ratios. So these are nothing but trigonometric ratios. Sine alpha, cos alpha, tan alpha, right? So these are trigonometric ratios. I can name this as 1, 2 and 3. I can name this as 1, 2 and 3. Okay. And we also know that there are some reciprocals of these things also. So if I'm talking about fourth, then it will be 1 upon sine alpha, right? So better I'll name that cosec alpha will be 1 upon sine alpha, and that will be h upon p, right? Then we are having sec alpha, it will be 1 upon cos alpha. Don't worry, I'll be telling you that what is the trick to learn all these things. Then it will be h upon b. Students find it very difficult to learn these things, but we are here and we have already made so much tricks, so many tricks, right? So when there are tricks, why you need to take any break about the concepts? So this becomes a rhyme. When we have a trick, why you need to make the bricks of remembering these concepts? I'll tell you the trick. Next is 10. And it is b upon p, right? So these are the 6 ratios which we are having, right? The basic. I started from very basic things. I hope that you do not know even anything, and even if you know something, it will add on into your knowledge, right? Next. Now, sir, you were talking about the trick to remember all these things, and we did that in our class 10th as well. So what else will you going to teach us? We already know that how to remember these ratios, right? Anyone out there who know that how to remember or how to learn these tricks, how to learn these trigonometric ratios? Is anyone out there? Please let me know that which is the trick which you had learned. Which is the trick from which you had learned? Tell me. But my trick is my trick. My trick is my trick. I have my own trick. So my own trick. You haven't seen this trick anywhere. And why I am saying this? Why I am saying this? Because I am using this trick everywhere. I'll be using this trick. Why? Because I'll be using this trick in integration. I'll be using this trick in differentiation. I do not teach you multiple things. I believe in a scenario that science is the deadly enemy of uniqueness. And if you are teaching multiple things, and if I am giving you the data facts only, then it becomes very difficult for you as well as for me. Because for me, your result will not be there, and for you, you will be thinking that, yeah, how to remember all these things? How many things we have to learn, right? So trick is, I think that you all might have seen a cartoon named Shinchan, right? He's very notorious child. If you haven't seen, just remember that he is one of the most notorious child I have ever seen in my life. His name is Shinchan. And there are so many kids out there nowadays who loves to watch Shinchan, and might be possible that you are also a fan from Shinchan. Shinchan पागल है. He looks like he's mad. So what do you mean by that, sir? Shinchan means sine alpha, sine theta, in everything. Pagal hai means perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So each time whenever you are seeing something like this, whenever you are seeing something like that, ki sine theta, you immediately thought ki Shinchan pagal hai, and you get to know that it is nothing but perpendicular upon hypotenuse, isn't it? Isn't it? Right? And how it will benefit us? It will benefit us by getting the value of, like if I'm having the value of this S5, if I'm having the value of this S5, this is S theta, then what will be the perpendicular? Perpendicular will be H sine theta, then it will be 5 sine theta, right? So this is how we will be calculating the perpendicular. I hope that you are getting, right? And as I told you, that I'll be using very few tricks, and through these few tricks I'll be teaching you multiple concepts. This is my talent. What is my talent? I'll be teaching you very few things. Means this exam is not about knowing multiple things. This exam is simply knowing very few things and applying those few things in multiple situations wherever you find out, right? So this is my talent, and this is the talent which I'll teach you as well. You as a student, you will be getting to know about multiple tricks. So here we know that in physics we have to do multiple things, right? We have to differentiate, we have to integrate. So if I have to differentiate sine theta, then d by d theta, if I'm saying, right? So d by d theta sine theta. Differentiation means you are breaking something. Differentiation means that you are breaking something into smaller particles, right? So d by d theta, if I'm doing that for the sine theta, d sine theta by d theta, then the answer will be, if you are beating some mad person, then it would be positive. So differentiation of sine theta is positive cos theta. Each time remember that sine theta will change to the cos theta. Definitely it will change to the cos theta. Whether we are doing the differentiation or integration, the main thing is that whether we are doing the integration or differentiation, the positive sign is very important, right? Positive or negative. When we are integrating sine theta with respect to d theta, when you are combining all the pagal person, when you are combining all the mad person, then what will happen? It become negative, minus cos theta. So I hope through this you will be getting to know that how we will be using this in differentiation and integration. Okay, I hope. Shubham Kumar. So this is how we will be learning all these things, right? And if you learn this thing, Shinchan pagal hai, and I told you that how to remember all this differentiation and integration formula with that, there is one trick as well. There is one more trick as well. The trick is Shinchan cute bhi hai. Cute bhi hai. Second thing is cute bhi hai. Cute bhi hai. Oh, what does it mean, sir? Cute bhi hai. What cute? Cute means cos. So if I'm telling you about the cos theta, then cos theta, cute means C for cute, C for cos, then it will be B base upon hypotenuse. So cos theta will be base upon hypotenuse, right? So cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. So whenever I am having a value of hypotenuse, like if I am having the value of hypotenuse as 5 and this is the theta, then what will be the value of base? The base value will be 5 cos theta. Base value will be 5 cos theta, and this is what we will be doing. This is what we will be doing in the case of resolution of vectors. This is what we will be doing in the resolution of vectors, right? We will be using these things only. So if you know that if I am having a vector, okay, as this is a basic maths, I am not changing the concept from trigonometry to the vectors. So better I'll teach you first trigonometry, right? When we complete trigonometry, we will come to the vector part. So trigonometry, till now in the trigonometry, we get to know about the ratios, right? So what are these ratios? Ratios is done. Second part is about the values, how to know the values of the basic functions. So I want that you must know some chart, right? You must know some chart. What is the chart? There are some specific values, or I would say special values, which you must know. If you do not know that, then life will become very hard for you. Theta, 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. So these are the values which you must know. And I'll not be telling you so many things. Just sine theta, cos theta and tan theta you can easily find out, right? So sine theta 0 means 0. Sine theta 30 degree means 1 by 2. Sine theta 45 degree 1 by root 2. Sine 60 degree is root 3 by 2. Sine 90 degree is 1, right? The graph of sine theta, you must remember the graph of sine theta goes like this. Graph of sine theta goes like this. What does it mean? It means like this is the value of sine theta, 1 and minus 1. Sine theta varies only in this value, plus 1 and minus 1. The maximum value that a sine theta can attain is minus 1, plus 1. The minimum value that sine theta can attain, this is the minus 1. No matter whether we are having theta here, whether we are having a, what if I am having a value of sine a, then it will also have the maximum value as plus 1, the minimum value as minus 1. What if I'll be having a value of sine omega t, then also it will be having a plus 1, minus 1. No matter whatever you write after this sign, that means that must be an angle and the value will lie between the plus 1 and minus 1. If you want to improve that value, means if you want to increase that value, you need to multiply this number. You need to multiply this number with some another number, right? So I hope that this is clear to you. And then cos theta is very simple, means you just need to arrange it in descending order, then it will become 1 root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2 and 0. Okay. So these are the values which I want that you must know, and other than that there is some other things as well. What is that? Quadrants. Quadrants, you know. The quadrants you must know. That what are the quadrants? So quadrants, these are the quadrants. Quadrants are nothing but an arrangement where we can place our triangle, right? So if I'll keep my triangle, if I'm assuming that there is a triangle, which triangle? Any Pythagorean triplet triangle you can imagine. If I'm imagining this as 3, this is 4, this is 5, right? Then all the values whichever you are finding, whether it is sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, because the perpendicular is positive, the hypotenuse is positive, the base is positive. All three values, all three sides are positive. When all three sides are positive, then your all ratios will be positive. So in the first quadrant, we'll be having the all values as positive. But what if I'm having a mirror here and this triangle changes into this? Then what will happen? The base becomes negative, right? The base becomes negative. So wherever the base will come, the conditions become negative. So where the base are coming, in cos theta we are having the base, right? There is base upon hypotenuse. In tan theta we are having the base, perpendicular upon base. So wherever we are having this base value, that will become negative. So what are the ratios in which we are not getting any base? Is there any ratios left where we do not have the value of base being used there? Yes, we are having sine and the reverse of sine, reciprocal of sine, right? So here in the second quadrant, only sine theta is positive. I hope that you are getting. There is nothing to remember. There is nothing to mug up. All these are very fundamental. All these things are very fundamental. If you analyze these things in such a way, then you hardly feel any difficulty, right? You hardly feel any difficulty. What if we'll move towards the other part? Here perpendicular is negative, base is negative, both are negative. So if I'll using only perpendicular, but hypotenuse will remain positive. Why? Sir, because hypotenuse means perpendicular square plus base square. So when I am adding this perpendicular square and base square, these quantities will be positive only. In root, there can't be any negative value if we are not talking about the imaginary numbers. So there must be a positive value. So hypotenuse will be positive. So wherever I'll be using perpendicular and base simultaneously, there I'll be getting the positive value, else I'll be getting the negative values. So here only tan theta, here only tan theta left with the positive value, right? And if I'll going here, all sine tan, if I'm going here, then here I'm finding that base is positive, the perpendicular is negative. So wherever I am using the perpendicular, that quantity will become negative, right? So sine, here I was using P, right? So it will be cos, sine, all sine tan cos. After school to college, this is how people used to learn this thing. After school to college. This is how people used to learn this thing. But I better suggest you that you must know this thing, because this is the thing. If you know about this thing, then hardly you require this thing, isn't it? Hardly you require this thing if you know this scenario. So in trigonometry, we must know about the ratios like sine theta, cos theta, tan theta. What does it mean? And the reciprocal of those. The second quantity is the values. So basic functions, basic values you must know. If you do not know the basic values, then it will become very hard for you, right? Then the third one is the quadrants. You must know that in which quadrant these values will be important. And the fourth thing is very much important. The fourth thing is the formulas. The fourth thing is the formulas. These are the four pillars of trigonometry on which your trigonometry must stand, right? If you know all these things, you do not face any issues while solving the questions related to the trigonometry that might come in your physics exam, right? These are the only things which you require, right? I hope that this is fine to you. This sounds great, right? This sounds great. Now we are moving towards the other things, and the other thing is, so trigonometry is done. Second thing is about the algebra, and I am teaching you vectors. So in the previous section, I told you that there are four pillars. There are four pillars if you want a very good trigonometric concepts. Those four pillars were, first one is the ratios. You must know about the ratios. You must know about the values. You must know about the quadrants, right? You must know about the formulas. So these are the four pillars of trigonometry. If anyone goes here and there, then the balance will disturb. The balance will get disturbed and you will be facing a lot of issue while solving the physics numericals. So I do not want this, right? So I do not want this, and I have given you the formula sheet with you. I have given you the practice sheet. So go to the description box, join our Telegram channel so that you won't miss that, right? So because this is very important. And now we are moving towards the other thing. In vectors, if we are going in detail, Then vectors, as you know, that these are the quantities that is having a magnitude as well as direction, right? So we already know that how to assign the magnitude. We already know that magnitude is nothing but a numbers. Direction is what? Direction is means where you are going. So sir, for direction we have east, west, north, south. But why do we require the vectors? Okay, you have east, west and north. East, west, north, south. But for this you require some knowledge about the magnetic field, right? And if you are standing in the means anywhere, if you go outside in the space, then how will you assign the north side? How will you assign the east side? How will you assign the west side? It will be very difficult for us, isn't it? Imagine that you are standing in the Imagine that you are standing on the moon and you are seeing the Venus from there. How will you assign the east, west, north and south standing at the moon? It will be very difficult, isn't it? Imagine, just imagine, you will feel that yes, that was required. That's why it is here. So there, what will be helpful for you is to get the Cartesian plane, right? So we already have to find out the magnitude, because we know that for any measurement we must require a reference. For any measurement we require a reference. Even if you are going to buy some medicine, you are going to become the doctor. If you are going to buy some medicine or you are going to use some medicine, or you have to inject any injection to someone, you have to see the expiry date. From where you will see the expiry date? Nowadays companies do not put the expiry date, because that will cost them, right? So basically what they do is they just write best before 12 months, best before 6 months, best before 24 months, best before 36 months. So they will be writing the date of manufacturing only, that the date of manufacturing is this, and you have the reference from that manufacturing date till the date of expiry. So this is how you are taking the reference. So in kind of measurement we have the reference as Cartesian plane. So we have a plane, Cartesian plane, which is having x, x dash, y, y dash. So if you have to take the magnitude, you are having the Cartesian plane with you, but how will you get the direction? So for that, scientists thought about that, why not use this x-axis as the direction itself and give it some directions, give it some other values, and that do not change the complete scenario. So we put this, that if anything goes in this x direction, we will use this I cap. If anything goes in this x direction, we will be using the I cap. What is this I cap? This is basically a unit vector. This is basically a unit vector which is having a direction in only x direction. There is no magnitude. The magnitude is 1. So it will not change any magnitude of the quantity which we are measuring. It only tells us about the direction. And the any quantity which will be going in the j direction will be using the j cap. Any quantity which will be going in z direction, we will be using the k cap. So these are the basic concept which is required, right? So how we will be going to represent this vector? Imagine that if I am having a x here, and that x can be easily described using some terms, like this is basically from the origin, this distance is x, this distance is y, and this distance is z. So this is x, y, z, right? So you already know that how to write, how to mark this. But in case of vector, we will be writing displacement vector, position vector, right? So position vector is a vector which tells us about the position of that point. So position vector is OA vector. If I am having this point here, so position vector every time takes the reference as origin. Always, this is as per the definition. The position vector takes reference as origin. So position vector takes reference as origin always. So if I am marking this, if I am writing this position vector, I can write this OA vector, and this OA vector is, I can easily write this as x I cap, means the x magnitude is in the I direction, the y magnitude is in the y direction, and the z magnitude is in the z direction. So I can write xi plus yj plus zk, right? So this is my position vector OA. This is OA vector. And similarly, if I am having some other value, other point here, ABC, if I am having some other values, ABC, and if I have to find out the position vector of that, then how I'll be able to calculate? Please mark. Please response in the chat. Malayalam. I do not know Malayalam. Little bit I know. Tell me that how we can write. Tell me that how we can write the position vector. So the position vector of OB will be what? AI. This is AI cap plus BJ cap plus CK cap. So this is how we can find the position vector, right? So this is how we can find the position vectors. And similarly, once we are done with the position vector, we can move towards the displacement vector. We can move to the displacement vector. Displacement, anytime. Displacement can be taken from any reference as per your choice. Like if I want to know my distance from this point, I can take this point as a reference, and I can see myself as another point and find the distance or the displacement between these particles, right? So in displacement, reference will be from any point. So for displacement vector, if I want to calculate the AB vector, then each time whenever you have to find out the displacement vector, you have to keep the final coordinates as the reference, and then subtract that coordinate with the initial coordinate. So that must be final coordinate minus initial coordinate. Right? So this must be the reference. So what are the coordinates of B? The coordinates of B are ABC, right? So I can write this AB vector as, final coordinate of x is A. The initial coordinate of x-axis was minus x, so I can write it as A minus of xi plus B minus of y j, right? B minus of y j plus C minus of zk. So this is how you can write down. So this is the displacement vector, and now we will learn that how to find the magnitude, how to find the directions. These are the only things, right? So we will take some examples for that. Hello. Is everything fine here? Please make a note of that. We are done with the position vector. We are done with the displacement vector. Then somebody might ask that, sir, you told us that vector quantity must be having the magnitude and as well as the direction. And this is completely mixed. Means this quantity, when we are representing this as position vector and the displacement vector, then these are having all the values with themselves only. How to separate the magnitude from the vector and how to separate the direction from the vector. So there are methods. So now we will learn that how to separate the magnitude and the vector. So if I am having the OA as position vector, this is a vector, and if I want to find out the magnitude, so OA vector magnitude is written in this form. So I am separating the magnitude from this vector. So magnitude will be under root x square plus y square plus z square. And what will be the magnitude of OB? OB vector magnitude will be a square plus b square plus c square. The magnitude is very simple. Just you need to find out what this kind means. The coordinate of x-axis square and in the under the root, the coordinate of y-axis, the coordinate of z-axis, right? This is nothing but a Pythagoras like scenario only. If I am having the x-axis as this, y-axis as this, then what will be the c? It will be x square plus y square, right? Under root. So similarly, if I am having the three coordinates, three axes, then how I can find out this direction? A simple method. So this is how we find the magnitude. And what if I need to find out the magnitude of AB? What if I need to find out the magnitude of AB? Then it will be A minus x square, A minus of x square plus B minus of y square plus C minus of z square. So this is how we are going to find out the magnitude, and direction is so simple, right? Direction is so simple. I'll be teaching you the direction here. Imagination is very important. Remember one thing, that you can go from A to Z if you know the logic, right? If you know the logic, you can go from A to Z. This is what Einstein said. And he also said that if you want to go anywhere, there is only one thing which you can use. What is that thing? That thing is your imagination. So your imagination is very important if you want to learn the important scenarios, right? So here, if I'm having some values, if I'm using some values, let's say x, y, z, or I'll keeping that values as 2, 3, 4, right? If I'm using this as 2, 3, 4, I'm using this as 3, 1, 7, right? If I'm having this thing, then you can easily find out the PO, you can easily find out OQ, right? What if I need to find out the PQ? So PQ vector is 3 minus of 2, that means ki 1, so that will be I cap only. 1 minus of 3, that means ki minus 2i 2j. 7 minus of 4, that means ki 3k. So that will be the vector. So this will be my displacement vector of PQ, right? So vector is done. Then from this vector, I know that this vector will be consisting of magnitude as well as the direction, right? So this vector will consist magnitude as well as the direction. This is how we represent. What is magnitude here? This is the magnitude. What is the direction here? I, j, k, and are the directions, right? This is combined, right? So if I need to separate this, if I need to separate the magnitude, if I need to separate the magnitude from this, then how I can do that? The answer is very simple. The answer is very simple. Just I need to square these quantities and then add and take the root, right? So that will be 9 plus 4 plus 1. 1 plus 4 plus 9. 9, 10, 14. Under root 14 will be the answer. Under root 14 will be the answer. So this is the magnitude. And how you are able to get the direction? So think of one thing, like if I'm writing the vector above, and writing the magnitude below that, I'll get the direction. Why? Because this vector includes the magnitude plus direction, right? Magnitude dot direction, right? This vector includes magnitude dot direction, and if I am dividing that with the magnitude, then magnitude will be cancel out and there will be only direction, right? So I can write this as I cap minus of 2j cap plus 3k cap divided by root 14. So this is my unit vector, and if you find out this is my unit vector, I can write this as I cap by root 14 minus 2 by root 14j plus 3 by root 14k. Okay, so this is my direction, unit vector direction, and you can easily find out that the magnitude, if you find out the magnitude of the this vector, we usually write this as PQ. If you find out the PQ cap magnitude, you will get 1. How will you find that? It's very simple. I already told you. You just need to square these quantities and then add. This is square, this is square, plus this is square. This will become 14 and this will become 14, right? So this will come up to 1. So this is how we will be able to separate the vector, how we will be going to represent the vectors. Okay, so this is very simple, right? I think that we are on the same page, right? Right, so this is how we represent the vectors, right? Now we are moving towards resolution of vector, which is very important. Resolution of vectors. So how vectors are resolved? Imagine that you are having a vector, A vector. Imagine that you are having a vector, A vector. This is making angle theta with the horizontal, right? This is making horizontal angle theta with the horizontal. As you know that vector is having the magnitude as well as the direction. So the length of this is A. Length of this is A, right? This is hypotenuse only. And if I need to find out the base, then base will be A cos theta, right? Base will be A cos theta. And what if I need to find out the perpendicular? Perpendicular will be A sin theta. This is very important thing which I told you just now. Just now I told you this thing. This is very important, right? If you are finding any force of 5 Newton making an angle of theta 30 degree, then what will be the component in x-axis? The x-axis component will be 5 sine 30 degree, and that will be 5 into 1 by 2, that will be 2.5 Newton. So 2.5 Newton is acting in the x direction. And how much force is acting in the y direction? So in y direction, the force will be F cos theta. So this is 5 cos 30 degree. This is 5 cos 30 degree. And cos 30 degree is root 3 by 2, right? So this will be 5 root 3 by 2 Newton. So this is the force which we are getting in y-axis. So basically I always tell my student that the only skill which you require while solving the physics numerical is the skill to see everything in picture and pixel. Picture and pixels. So these are the things. So whenever you are seeing any force in any direction, then you must know about the x-axis component, the y-axis component. Imagine that you are having a projectile. Imagine that you are having a projectile, right? So if you are, imagine that you are having a projectile, right? And the velocity of the projectile, is 40 meter per second, and the angle it makes from here is 60 degree. Then what will be the component of x-axis? Then the velocity in the x-axis will be vx, the velocity in the y-axis will be vy. It will be v sine 60 degree, and this will be v cos 60 degree. So keep remember that the side which is closer to the angle, or the side which is from which we are making the angle, will have cos. One minute. That must be cos. One big mistake I did that. One big mistake. Right? This is f sine theta. So that must be f5, and sine 30 degree. So that must be 5 into 1 by 2. So that must be 2.5 Newton, right? That must be fx must be f cos theta. So that must be f into cos 30 degree. So this value must be f root 3 by 2 Newton. Okay, little bit mistake from my end. So keep remember that thing, that whenever you are taking the angle from whichever angle, that will be taken as cos, right? So this is cos, this is cos, this is cos. And what will happen if I'm taking the angle from some different angle, different axis? If I'm taking the angle from horizontal, if I'm having some velocity vector from this side 45 degree, or we can say 15 degree or 30 degree, imagine. So if this is from 30 degree here, the velocity vector is v here. So here it will come as v cos 30 degree. Okay, this component will become v cos 30 degree, and this component will become v sin 30 degree. So this is how we resolve the vectors. Okay, so this is how we resolve the vectors. So resolution of vector is a skill which you must require, right? So let's move forward, and integration and differentiation we will be doing. But before that, I want to make an announcement that if you are really confident, and if you really want to that you want to crack this NEET exam this time only, and you do not want to take chance, and you do not want to take any drop, so you must join our ALT NEET Telegram channel, where you will be getting the PDF material, free classes like this is the free class which you are getting, the announcement which we are making about the discounts, about the prices, about the classes, about multiple things which are happening out there. And you can also follow us on Instagram on apj.academy. And this is the Telegram channel, how it looks like. There are so many study materials which we are providing, and the subscriber is around 5,000 currently when you join. The link is in the description. This is the QR code which you can use to scan, right? And also we are providing you the crash course. Through which you can revise the multiple concepts in just one go. There will be 90 plus classes which we are providing until the date of exam. The course validity will be extended to you. The syllabus will be completed by from JEE and NEET experts like me. And the flipped classroom method which we are using. This is the unique method which the European companies are using, or I can say that European universities are using. You won't find this method from where? In any other institutes which are teaching in India. You won't find, right? So this is a very unique thing which we are doing, and doubt solving sessions are regularly conducted just for you. This is how our closed classes look like. What is closed classes? The classes where we are conducting, and this is how we are conducting our classes. First, we will provide you the theory, means a short video where we are explaining you each and everything what we will be teaching in the main session. We'll be inciting you, we will be insisting you that you must learn these things from this study material, right? The third thing will be the webinar where we'll be discussing the concepts which you might face difficulty, right? And after that, we will be giving you the homework. Through the homework, you get to know that whether you will be able to solve those questions or not. And when you are done with that homework, we will check that whether it is correct or not, right? So this is also very important. And the next here is the smart plans. There are two plans which you can buy. The other plan is the Profi plan, where we are providing you some additional classes where you are getting one-to-one online sessions, where you are getting one-to-one online doubt clearing sessions from the tutors which we are having. So one-to-one mentorship is there, means any difficulty you are facing, remember one thing. The competition exam is like a war. If you believe that you will be giving the exam and you will crack that, you are making mock of yourself, isn't it? Or you are making the mock of this exam like JEE and NEET. So basically, you require one-to-one mentorship, because even after once you crack the exam, you require the mentorship that where you should go, right? Based on your score, which college is best for you. You do not require, you do not want that everyone will be giving you the advice, right? You should get the advice from the advisors. So this is what we are providing, and the special cost is there, 29990, which is for only for this week. So do not delay and fix your session with us and experience this at totally free of cost. Scan this, have a look at how and where we are providing all these scenarios where the courses is running. So 2990 is the cost. This is the least price which we are giving you. Okay. And next thing which I'm going to teach you is the integration and the differentiation. Integration and differentiation. Differentiation is basically about breaking the things. So basically in physics we require some very few concepts about differentiations, and 90% cases you require algebraic functions where you are solving the where you are differentiating. Imagine that if I am having a value as x to the power of n, if I am differentiating this value with reference to the x, means I want to find out the smallest curve through which if I'll join that curve, I can easily trace down that function, right? Basically, what does this y is equals to xn means? This is the function only, right? If I'll draw this graph, there will be one graph only. So dy by dx will be the smaller part of the graph, through which if I'll repeat that graph, I'll get this function only. So this is the smallest part. No, Siri, thank you. Oh, my Siri is saying something. No. How to shut down this Siri? Okay, so I'm saying that dy by dx is equals to, there is some formula that this is equals to n minus 1, right? So this is the formula. How we will be going to use that? I'm giving you some examples, because without examples that won't be clear to you. So imagine that if I'm having a value of x to the power of 5, imagine that if I'm having a value of d to y to the power of x to the power of 5, then if I'm differentiating this dy by dx, then 5 will come forward and this will become 4. So power is decreasing, right? In differentiation, power is decreasing. One more example. If I'm having a function as 5 x to the power of 6, then what will happen? So here dy by dx, here dy by dx is equals to 30 x5. Okay, so this is how, and in 90% of cases we will be using this thing only. What if we will be having some functions like this 2x square plus 3x plus 80, then if you have to differentiate this, then this is very simple. Means you do not need to worry about the constants, that will remain there, it won't disturb you, right? So that will be 2 into 2x plus 3. So that will be 4x plus 3. So this is my differentiation, 4x plus 3. And in some books you might have seen that it will be written as y dash. So basically, if you know about this differentiation, you will be able to solve multiple questions. Other types of differentiation in exponential function, differentiation in trigonometric functions, will be solving in other sessions, right? The second thing will be the integration. So once we talk about the integration, then what will we require? In the 90% of cases in integration, we also doing the same scenario which we were doing in the differentiation. This is the formula which we must know. If we have to differentiate xn to the power of n, xn with dx, we will be getting x. In integration, we are adding the things, so power will be increasing. Xn plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So there are so many examples which I can illustrate. Imagine that we are having x to the power of 5. And what if I am integrating x to the power of 5 dx? That will be x66. x66, right? If I am having y is equals to 5x6, then it will be integration of 5x6 dx. It will be 5x7 divided by 7, right? And what if I am having y is equals to 2x square plus 3x plus 80? Then if I need to integrate this thing, with reference to x, then it will be 2x cube divided by 3 plus 3x square. Means I am increasing the power and dividing that, right? Their power is 2. I'll be dividing this by 2. Then it will be 80x. The power will be 1, right? So this is how we are doing these things. Fine. Okay. So before ending this class, I want all of you to please join our Telegram channel so that you won't miss my PDF, you won't miss my classes. There are so many free classes which I am conducting. You won't miss my announcement, you won't miss the discounts, and there is discussion going on the group through which when you say that you require some free classes on this topic, we will be conducting that classes. So we will be listening to you. There is no one who is listening to you, right? So free classes, remember that there are so many free classes which we are providing, right? And keep one thing in your mind, that winners and losers have same goals. Winners and losers have same goal. And if you really want to crack this exam, you require a coaching, because through coaching you will be getting the 4 C's. What are 4 C's? The first one is the that you are getting the schedule, complete schedule, through which you will become more confident, right? You will be able to know that you will be able to crack the exam. So we are ending this session here only, and we'll meet again with the new sessions. Bye bye. We'll meet again. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.